Welcome to St Anselm's College BBC News School Report. Earlier today, myself and Tom spoke to Mr Duggan, the headmaster of St Anselm's, about the history and improvements of Outwood House.
So Mr Duggan, do you have any further plans for Outwood House?
We certainly do, Thomas. What we want to do is refurbish the top floor. That hasn't been touched yet because unfortunately we ran out of money in the original refurbishment project 4 years ago, and that would give us much needed classrooms. We'd have our ICT server room up there, we'd have the sixth form common room and offices for the sixth form pastoral staff as well. But to facilitate that and comply with building and fire regulations, we would need an external fire escape and some form of lift, because at the moment there's only one staircase up and down. So that's the challenge for us, and that's what makes the project expensive.
So let's talk about the history of Outwood. Are the historical features of the house respected by the sixth form students? And are they a sign of the prestigious background of the original owners?
Yes, I'm pleased to say the answer is yes in both cases. You can see that this is a wonderful mid-19th century building. It's built of local Staunton stone, which King Edward I used to build his castles in North Wales in the 13th century, and that gives you an indication of the quality of the fabric of the building. The internal features are beautiful, wonderful high ceilings, magnificent fireplaces, elaborate carved door frames, and beautiful decorations on the ceilings as well. They're the really attractive features of the building. They're very well respected and looked after by our sixth form students. I think having this as their sixth form centre has given them a clear sense of identity and a sense of ownership.
What do you know about the previous owners of the building like?
Yes, following on from the previous question, the building was originally built for the Heap family. A couple of families did own it, but it passed into their hands after a few years, and they became the major occupiers of it until the 20th century. And they were Liverpool merchants. They could see the docks in Liverpool from this height, from the top of their home, and they were involved in the Burmese trade, particularly to do with rice, and they still had a warehouse. The building remains in Liverpool to this day. So they were Liverpool merchants, and this was a property that reflected their wealth and their status in society, and that's why it's so grand. So we've done a lot of research into them through the Outwood History and Heritage Society, and we've met descendants of their family. So we've really uncovered a treasure trove of information about the rich history of this building.
We have had a few sporting achievements and some upcoming sports with our rugby and cross-country teams.
From its humble beginning in 1939, the Rosslyn Park National School Sevens has evolved into the world's largest school rugby tournament, with some 7,000 boys and girls aged 13 to 18 competing annually.
On Sunday, the 19th of March, boys in St Anselm's College will be competing in a prestigious tournament. The tournament will be held in London, where schools from all over the nation will be battling for the cup.
We spoke to Rugby Sevens coach Mr Booth, who told us that during his training sessions with his 17, he had been focusing on speed and agility.
On Saturday the 4th of March, St Anselm's School retained their third successive year being champions at the Northern Schools Finals. It was a great effort by the whole team, but especially by certain boys ranging from year 7 to year 13.
So how was the competition at the race for year 8?
Well, it was very challenging. We had a lot of pressure on us to do well as a year group to help the whole school win it. We got a good reputation, so yeah, we needed to do very well.
So, what were the conditions of the race and how did it affect you?
Oh, it was extremely windy towards us, so it made it a lot more challenging. It was just a really hard course with loads of hills. It was extremely muddy. So, yeah.
So how did you deal with the pressure?
Oh, it was extremely hard. You got like butterflies in your tummies from arriving at school in the morning. You had so much pressure on you, and knowing me that we had a few people injured, and then seeing Zach fall over, it was even worse. I just knew that I had to do even better.
As a school, we have been fundraising for different charities. Here is Jake with some more news about the fundraising.
It's that time of year again at St Anselm's College. Hundreds of students are committing to raising as much money as possible for their respective led charities. How many years have you been preparing items for the students?
I've been making gifts to sell for Christmas, Mother's Day and Father's Day now for certainly all the years I've been at Anselm's, which is about 18 years, and 7 years in the previous school, so 25 years.
How much time did you spend making the gifts and finding the books?
Finding books, some of them are the ones that I find over the year, and I just buy them and keep them in the bag, knowing they'll be suitable for school, and a lot of the books are donated by other people. The gifts tend to take me. I actually start making the gifts for Christmas in the summer. I start buying and collecting them. I tend to make gift sets and wrap them up. And even with the sixth forms help, it takes the last few hours in terms of putting the ribbon on and sticky tape on it. It can be quite trying for the year 13s, but they really like doing it. So it probably takes me at least 6 weeks to make gifts, and a bit longer. I actually start making the Christmas gifts in some holidays, but I really enjoy it.
And last but not least, how much money are you intending to raise?
We always try and raise as much as we can, because the money will go to the Lenten charities, and the other half I phone Benny Frost at the mission and ask him what items of food he's short of at that time, and then I just go to Asda, buy exactly what he needs, fill up the boot of the car and take it down to the mission, because they often need frozen foods as well and tinned foods. So it can vary. We can raise up to £200, particularly over Christmas, and I think for the books that we've had this time and the gifts, we've probably raised £100.